Hey there, Stash Wyslouch here. Welcome to Quick Tips. If you want to support the making of these lesson videos, become a patron on Patreon. If you want to take private lessons, send me an email. Today's quick tip, I want to talk about melodic structures that spell out chords. In the last quick tip, we dealt with the farewell blues, dealing with a complicated chord progression. C7 to A7 to D7 to E flat 7. We talked about a systematic way to find the juicy notes that are very consonant with whatever chord we're on, namely the chord tones. But if you've been doing this exercise for the past 2 weeks, and also playing the farewell blues at the local jam, you've realized that you can't just play chord tones and arpeggios all day and make a musical statement. So I want to give you a few ideas, a few structures that launch off of these chord tones that can give you some nice connective tissue to make things that are a little closer to the improvisations you might be hearing in your head. So I'm going to go off of each chord tone and give you some ideas of melodic structures that you could do going up and going down. This is going to seem like a lot. I've gotten this information after decades of transcribing and listening to solos and melodies. That's the best way to see these melodic structures in action. Think of this video as just a reminder of some things to look out for when you're doing the transcription work. Chord tone 1. 4-note structures going off of the root. An A7 arpeggio going up. An A triad, 4 notes going up. 1, 3, 5, back to the 1. An A tetrachord, 1, 2, 3, 5. An A6 arpeggio. And then a 4-note structure with a little bit of chromaticism. 1, 2, and then a chromatic approach to the 3. 1, 2, flat, 3, 3. By the way, I'm staying in the same open position that we talked about in the last quick tip, just to give it all some context. Now let's go off of the highest root in the open position available to us in the key of A. Let's talk about 4-note structures going down off the root. Go down a triad. We could go down an A7 arpeggio. We could go down a tetrachord that'll be inverted. 1, 5, 3, 2. That's a 1, 2, 3, 5 tetrachord inverted. An A6 chord going down. And then we can do 1, flat 7, 5 with a little chromatic approach between the 1 and the 7. Interesting. Cool. If this seems dull and dry, it's because it probably is. But I hope some of you are getting something out of this. The idea is eventually we want to be able to connect nice 8th note lines that really spell out the chords with nice shapely melodies. The lowest third going up, 4-note melodic structures. The triad. The A7 arpeggio off the lowest third. A 1, 3, 4, 5 tetrachord starting on the 3 going up. An A6 arpeggio starting off the 3rd going up. And a little chromatic business, 3, 4, sharp 4 to the 5. Going off the highest third going down, 4-note melodic structures. Go down the triad. Go down the A7 arpeggio. Go down the 1, 3, 4, 5 tetrachord off the 3rd. Going off the 1, 2, 3, 5 tetrachord, going down off the 3rd. Going down the A6 arpeggio off the highest 3rd. And then a little chromatic business going 3, flat 3, 2, 1. Off the 5th, lowest 5th going up. We could do the triad. We could do the 7th chord. We could do a 1, 2, 3, 5 tetrachord starting on the 5. We could do an A6 arpeggio starting off the 5 going up. Then we could do a nice chromatic business going 5, sharp 5, 6, flat 7. Off the highest 5th going down, go down the triad. Go down the 7th chord. 1, 2, 3, 5, starting off the 5th going down. Do 1, 3, 4, 5 tetrachord, starting off the 5th going down. Do an A6, starting off the 5th going down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can do a little chromatic business. Just go down chromatically from the 5 to the 3. Very nice. The lowest 7th going up. You could go up the A7 arpeggio. 1, 2, 3, 4. An interesting alternative is, instead of going 7, 1, 3, 5, you could go 7, 2, 3, 5. That'll sound cool. A little chromatic business. Go 7 to the natural 7, to the root, to the 3rd. How about some things going down off of the highest 7th? A7 arpeggio. Instead of going 7, 5, 3, 1, you can go 7, 5, 3, 2. That'll sound nice. You could do a little chromatic business, going 7 down chromatically to the 5th. Alright, so this may seem like a lot, but like I mentioned in the beginning, these are things to look out for. When you see, for example, a Benny Martin line, he's playing over a big D7 chord. Maybe he might play 32 notes in a row. Of those 32 notes, can you identify some of them as being part of these 4-note structures? All of a sudden, it might become 8 4-note structures in a row as opposed to 32 single notes that you're not exactly sure how they all relate to each other. So beyond just noticing these in the music you're listening to and learning to play, you could start to extrapolate and start putting some of these structures in a really artificial way into your playing just to find out where the good notes are. So for example, take that Farewell Blues line going A7 to D7 to E flat 7. Pick one of those 4-note structures going up or down and exploit it. So let's do, for example, that interesting 7th chord 1. We're going up off the lowest 7th, and instead of going 7, 1, 3, 5, we're going to go 7, 2, 3, 5. So remember, it's 2 bars of A7, then 1 bar of D7, 1 bar of E flat 7. We'll play them as 8th notes. After you play the structure, you pause until the next bar comes in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. You could go through the whole form and do the same thing. 7, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Interesting. If you do a couple or a few of these, especially off of different chord tones, I think you'll notice pretty quickly that you can start connecting some pretty interesting lines just by grouping these 4-note structures together. So for example, a C7 chord starting on the 7th, 7, 2, 3, 5 going up. You come back down to the 3rd and play a triad going up. So we got, you stick a little Doc Watson lick onto that, start to sound pretty cool. A7, we could start on that 7th lick, 7, 2, 3, 5 going up. Then how about we land on an A note, the root, and go up a 1, 3, 4, 5 tetrachord. Then hit an arpeggio off the 7th going down. Then hit the 7th and go down chromatically. Pretty cool. 7, 2, 3, 5 tetrachord, arpeggio, chromatic business. How about a D tetrachord twice? Hit the 5th of the E flat and go down an arpeggio for a little bit. Then do an inverted E flat 6 arpeggio. Hope this gives you some ideas, some tools to practice, some ways to integrate some more melodic structures into your arpeggio chord tone exercises. If you like today's lesson and want access to more supplemental materials and Patreon exclusive workshops, become a patron on my Patreon page. Send me an email if you'd like to sign up for private lessons. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.